Let's talk a little bit about our new Riven mod system, and I guess my thoughts on it, since I keep getting asked how I feel about it. So first off, to quickly explain what the Riven mod system is, in simple terms, the Riven mods right now in Warframe are a way for us to level the playing field between so-called endgame rifles and low-end rifles. Right now it's only rifle mods, but expect them to be released for other weapon types at some stage in the future. To quote a phrase from Digital Extremes themselves, the system is there to breathe life back into underused weapons, which, if we're being honest, could have been done simply by buffing the stats of those weapons or even giving them syndicate mods and not giving us this whole new system. Now, Riven mods are also tradable, and right now they're in high demand but come in short supply, which means that prices are absolutely crazy. This has a lot of players feeling that the Riven system is in fact just a cash grab to generate more platinum sales, but that's a pretty cynical way of looking at things, so I'm not getting dragged into that argument, not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Now, as veterans, we've been asked for and complaining about having nothing to do for some time now. The Riven mod system, I guess, is aimed at us because of the mastery level on some of these mods, and to a large extent, we still complain. We're a pretty hard bunch to keep happy, aren't we? But I understand a lot of the complaints aimed at the new Riven mods. The RNG gating is strong, as is the time needed to put into these mods. Maybe you think the level of RNG is fine, then that's grand. Let me know in the comment section below. When the Riven mod system was first released, it sounded great, but it was pretty flawed. Players were getting mods that left already powerful weapons even more powerful, or to some degree incredibly broken, like mods for the Bolto Prime, Soma Prime, Dread, Simulor, Tonkor and so on. So there was no level playing field between the high-end weapons and the low-end weapons. The best just got better and the gap between high and low stayed the same. However, in a recent hotfix, they brought in the Riven disposition system, which grades Riven mods into 3 different types, depending on the weapon that they are unveiled for. The 3 grades or types of Riven mods are Feint, Neutral and Strong. So a Soma Riven mod will be a Feint mod, so as not to turn the Soma into a broken, overpowered weapon, but still have a stat increase. Whereas, say, a Riven mod for the Tiburon or a Grinlock or something like that will be graded as Strong, so as to bump its stats up close to endgame level. Previously, when we cycled or re-rolled the Riven mod stats, it would become veiled again and require us to complete a meaningless task in order to see what the new stats we got were and hope that they were better than what we previously had. However, now when we cycle a Riven mod, you can choose to either accept or decline the result. So you can keep the original or choose the new set of stats. We only have to unveil that Riven mod once, so there's no more completing tasks for the same mod over and over every time you want to cycle its stats. The cost for cycling or re-rolling the Riven mod stats has now also been greatly reduced for each time that you want to cycle your Riven mod stats. But my issue with this is that there's still not an actual cap on the amount of Kuva you will eventually spend for each reroll. The cost for Kuva is forever increasing on that mod that you want to cycle over and over to finally get those stats that you need. So the original price was reduced. Previously, the price for your 10th roll of that mod would be 9,000 Kuva, whereas now it's 3,600, so it has been reduced a lot, so there's still no cap, and this is one of the issues that has some of the Warframe community a bit annoyed. Because of the pure RNG nature of the Riven mod process, you could probably expect to have to roll 8 to 9 times on a mod on more than one occasion. You may get lucky and get the stats that you want on roll 2, 3 or 4, but my Riven mods and all of the guys on my Discord have required 5 to 7 rolls minimum, with some guys rolling 11 to 15 times to get the stats that they want on that Riven mod. And as annoying as the costs of the Kuva are with this system, RNG is probably the biggest issue, with a lot of players saying that no one asked for another form of RNG to be added into the game, and the Riven mod system is RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG, not to mention the time gating involved as well. Let me go through the actual RNG process of the whole system. Without counting the actual Riven mod that you get from the War Within quest, this is how it's going to go. First up, you need to do a sortie and hope that you get a Riven mod. Then you need to hope that it's for a weapon that you actually have or want. Then you need RNG to give you a good set of stats, or else you will have to re-roll them and hope you to get better stats second time around, or third time, or fourth time, and so on. That's just the RNG behind the actual mods. You also need to farm the actual Kuva required to cycle these mods, and for that to happen, you need the Kuva siphons to spawn into your high level Grineer missions. That might be changed in a future patch for it to be tied to planets beside the Grineer Fortress and maybe bring a guaranteed siphon spawn, but that's not in right now, so it's all luck based whether or not a siphon actually spawns into your mission. There have been times where I've ran 9, 10, 11 and up to 12 missions in a row with no siphon spawning in, which is terrible RNG, luck of the Irish, my arse. So basically you're hoping to get a Riven mod from Sorties, then you're hoping it's for a weapon you have or want, then you're hoping it's got the stats that you need for it. If not, you're going to have to re-roll those stats and hopefully only a few times. Then you're hoping for Kuva siphons to spawn in multiple different missions so as you have enough Kuva to actually spend on cycling those stats. At the same time, you have to hope you don't get a Riven mod for a damn Sentinel. Why Sentinels were added into the pool for this fucking Riven system is beyond me. Who wants a Volklock Riven mod? A laser rifle Riven mod? Fuck off and remove them from the pool, seriously. And yes, you can buy a Riven mod for Platinum, but right now, like I said, the prices are pretty crazy and not everyone will want to or have Platinum to spend on a Riven mod. That's pretty much my honest opinion on the Riven system. Not that it should actually matter, I'm just one person out of the whole player base. Your opinion is just as important as mine, if not more important. So what if I make YouTube videos? The Riven system is great in theory by bringing weaker weapons more in line with the powerful ones, but like I said, they could have done that just by increasing the stats of the weaker ones in the first place and not giving us this whole new system. But we have it now, so I guess the Riven disposition is great for balancing those weapons by not having too big of a gap between endgame and low end rifles. It allows us to bring old or forgotten about weapons into sorties and endless missions with us, so it's a good thing. It gives us more choices, so I guess we need to be happy about something. But there's no denying that the RNG you need for the Riven mods is absolutely crazy. I feel that Sentinels should be removed from the whole Riven mod system full stop so that we don't get mods for the Sentinel weapons. Riven cycling costs should also have a cap, so after you've rolled maybe 10 times, then the Kuva amount stays the same for every roll thereafter on that mod and doesn't spiral out of control, because then the grind becomes absolutely terrible. If you're having to spend 5,000-6,000 Kuva on one mod that you're really wanting to get that perfect set of stats for your favourite weapon, then it's going to be a bit crazy. Also, no one will buy a mod that you've cycled more than 5, 6, 7, 8 times because they're going to have to spend a lot of Kuva to get the stats that they want. If they change the Kuva siphons to be a guaranteed spawn on planets beside the Grineer Fortress, then that would be a good step towards reducing the level of grind that we have right now. Because running over 10 or more missions hoping to get a siphon to spawn in, only to come away with 600 or so Kuva without a booster, will mean that you will need to run much more siphon missions in order to get the Kuva that you need to re-roll that Riven mod, which is a lot of time spent hoping for some luck, or else you spend platinum on a booster, which you shouldn't feel that you have to spend platinum in order to get an item in a free-to-play game. So I guess I still think that the system sounds great in theory, but it is still flawed and gated behind some serious amounts of RNG and time spent. Like I've already said, this is just my opinion, my own, and I'm sure you guys will have a different one. You're free to disagree with me, let me know in the comment section below. Everyone, of course, is entitled to their own opinion. Let me know what you guys think of the Riven system as it stands right now, or what you would like to see changed in a future update. Do me a favour and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.